What up, everybody? Well, I made it up here. You can see the glorious view. So I'm going to finish my Bible study up here. Hopefully it gives me more than 15 minutes because my memory card's getting full. I don't have enough money to get a memory card. I'd rather spend it in gas to come up here. So I'm in Esther, chapter 2. After these things, when the wrath of the king Ahasuerus was appeased, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what was decreed against her. Then said the king's servants that ministered unto him, Let there be fair young virgins sought for the king, and let the king appoint officers in all the provinces of his kingdom, that thee may gather together all the fair young virgins unto Shushan, the palace, to the house of the woman, unto the custody of Higi, the king's chamberlain, keeper of the women, and let their things for purification be given them, and let the maiden which pleaseth the king be queen instead of Vashti. And the thing pleased the king, and he did so. Now the Shushan, the palace, there was a certain Jew whose name was Mordecai, the son of Jair, the son of Shimei, the son of Kish, a Benjamite, who had been carried away from Jerusalem with the captivity which had been carried away with Jeconiah, king of Judah, whom Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, had carried away. And he brought up Hadassah, that is Esther, his uncle's daughter, for she had neither father nor mother, and the maid was fair and beautiful, whom Mordecai, when her father and mother were dead, took for his own daughter. So here's where Esther's coming in, and he's gathering all the pretty women to pick his woman, the king to pick his woman and stuff. So it came to pass, when the king's commandment and his decree was heard, and when many maidens were gathered together unto Shushan the palace to the custody of Haggai, that Esther was brought also unto the king's house to the custody of Haggai, keeper of the women. And the maiden pleased him, and she obtained kindness of him, and he speedily gave her things of purification with such things as belonged to her, and 7 maidens which were meet to be given her out of the king's house, and he preferred her and her maids unto the best place of the house of the women. Esther had not showed her people nor her kindred, for Mordecai had charged her that she should not shew it. And Mordecai walked every day before the court of the women's house to know how Esther did, and what should become of her. Now when every maid's turn was come to go into the king of Ahasuerus, after that she had been 12 months according to the manner of the women, so were the days of their purifications accomplished, to wit, 6 months with the oil of myrrh, and 6 months with sweet odors, and the other things for the purifying of the women. Then thus came every maiden unto the king. Whatsoever she desired was given her to go with her out of the house of the women unto the king's house. In the evening she went, and on the morrow she returned into the second house of the woman, to the custody of Shigagaz, the king's chamberlain, which kept the concubines. She came in unto the king no more, except the king delighted in her, and that she were called by name. Now when in turn of Esther, the daughter of Abihail, the uncle of Mordecai, who had taken her for his daughter, was come to go unto the king, she required nothing but what Haggai, the king's chamberlain, the keeper of the women, appointed. And Esther obtained favor in the sight of all of them that looked upon her. So Esther was taken unto King Ahasuerus into his house royal in the 10th month, which is the month Tebeth, in the 7th year of his reign. And the king loved Esther above all women, and she obtained grace and favor in his sight more than all the virgins. So he favored Esther and picked her. so that he set the royal crown upon her head and made her queen instead of Vashti. And so instead of Vashti, because she wouldn't behave, he picked Esther, and she became the queen instead. Then the king made a great feast unto all his princes and servants, even Esther's feast. And he made a release of provinces and gave gifts according to the state of the king. And when the virgins were gathered together the second time, then Mordecai sat at the king's gate. Esther had not yet shewed her kindred nor her people, as Mordecai had charged her. For Esther did the commandment of Mordecai, like as when she was brought up with him. In those days, while Mordecai sat in the king's gate, two of the king's chamberlains, Bigthan and Teresh, of those which kept the door, were wroth, and sought to lay hand on the king Ahasuerus. And the thing was known to Mordecai, who told it to Esther the queen. And Esther certified the king thereof in Mordecai's name. And when inquisition was made of the matter, it was found out. Therefore they were both hanged on a tree. And it was written in the book of the Chronicles before the king. So these people were hanged. So anyway, that's the next chapter of Esther, where I am there, and then I'm just gonna read. Hopefully this is still going. Yeah, it is. Just gonna read some songs, and this is just the first one that I opened up to, and I'm just gonna read it until my memory card gets full and it stops, or until it gets to 15 minutes. Psalm 78. Give ear, O my people, to my law. Incline your ears to the words of my mouth. I will open my mouth in the parable. I will utter dark sayings of old, which we have heard and known, and our fathers have told us. We will not hide them from their children, shewing to the generation to come to praises of the Lord, and his strength, and his wonderful works that he hath done. For he established a testimony in Jacob, and appointed the law in Israel, which he commanded our fathers, and that they should make them known to their children. This is a really long song, so I'm going to go to a different one. Psalm 98. O sing unto the Lord a new song, for he hath done marvelous things. His right hand and his holy arm hath gotten him the victory. The Lord hath made known his salvation, his righteousness hath he openly shewed in the sight of the heathen. He hath remembered his mercy and his truth toward the house of Israel. All the ends of the earth have seen the salvation of our God. Make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all the earth. Make a loud noise and rejoice and sing praise. Sing unto the Lord with a harp, with the harp and the voices, or the voice of the songs. And with trumpets and sound of cornet, make a joyful noise before the Lord the King. Let the sea roar, and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwelleth therein. Let the floods clap their hands, let the hills be joyful together before the Lord, for he cometh to judge the earth. With righteousness shall he judge the world, and the people with equity. Okay. Let's see. Psalm 19. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Look at that, the firmament. Everybody be talking about that, huh? Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night sheweth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. In them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun, which is as a bridegroom cometh out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuit unto the ends of it, and there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. The law of the Lord is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Lord is sure, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Lord are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Lord is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Lord is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of the Lord are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, than much fine gold. Sweeter also than honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over me. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Lord, my strength and my Redeemer. Beautiful. Anyway, it's already 11 minutes, so I'm going to end there. I love everybody so much. It was so hard to get up here. I'm not going to lie, it was hard. But it's gorgeous up here. I say it's probably going to be at least a 7-mile round trip. So I'll just kind of pan around a little bit so you guys can see how beautiful it is up here. The mountain over there is so pretty. But anyway, I wanted to go farther up, but I'm just tired. I've already went probably almost 4 miles, so it's gonna be every bit of 7 miles round trip, and I'm just pooped. Out there, it looks like they're like mining gravel and stuff, like where they get gravel out of the ground and stuff. Anyway, I probably better go. It's 12 minutes, so I really enjoy studying with you guys. Like I said, I hope everybody's doing good, and it's amazing out here as usual. I'm gonna have to find some shade. I'm kind of getting a little sunburned, I think. I don't know. I'm gonna kind of go down the valley back over here. Anyway, love you guys. Love and peace.